Welcome back to Briggs on Books, the international talk show where we talk to authors from all over the world about their ideas, their thoughts, how did they write the book, things like that. Last week we had a guest on the show, Michelle Murray. I hope I got that right. She'll tell me if I don't. She wrote
You're right. You're right.
wrote this great book, Spirit of El Paso. I said, Michelle, let's get the guy on. He's still around. He's a kind of a famous guy now. And let's hear him tell his story a little bit. Let's see if I can find him. There he is. Welcome, Joe Saldivar.
Well, thank you.
You had quite a career with is it the El Paso Sheriff's Department?
Yes, sir. For 17 years. Yes, sir.
17 years, yeah. And now the author, Michelle, wrote a book about your life. Michelle Murray. Is it just about your life as a sheriff's deputy or about other parts of your life as well?
Well, other parts of my life as well, too.
Yeah. Now, you were, how did you meet Michelle? How'd that all start, this collaboration?
I met her through my son. He's also an actor and runs the business right now. So, yeah, they got together and, we contacted each other. But, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And does the book, you had some big points, highlights, high points in your career, like maybe serial killers or something like that?
Well, it's a little bit, a lot of different things involved that have to do with law enforcement, but yeah, it's all there.
It's all there. And were you a detective or a patrol officer?
No, it's just a patrolman all this time, patrolman and a crime prevention officer.
Yeah, and I'd imagine that you had a different adventure every day out on the roads of El Paso. That's in Texas, I would imagine.
Right, without even knowing, getting some crazy stuff, but, well, I'm still here.
You're still here, yeah. Now, did you, for your whole county, how many deputies were out on patrol at one time?
Well, one time back in 1980, I think there was maybe 3 patrolmen out on the field. One was in the Lower Valley, and 2 in the, I guess, the Lower Valley had two sections, but I did mostly the Upper Valley, the Lower Valley of El Paso County.
Yeah. Now, how many miles? Do you know how many miles that county covers?
Ooh, you know that I really don't know, but I think it's something like over 700 something miles,
Yeah.
square miles or not.
It's a big, wide open area that's really spread out. So there's just 3 of you patrolling the whole county sometimes.
Oh yeah, there's a big area, that's for sure.
Now, did sometimes you have to? One of the other deputies called and needed a little backup. You had to race across the county?
Yes, sir. That happens quite often, too.
Yeah. Yeah, we have that here in our county out here in California. They're really spread out and a lot of big things happen. So would you say you're kind of on your own out there and you have to deal with any situation?
Yes, sir. Yeah. I was out there on my own quite a few instances, but yeah.
Yeah.
We did the job.
Yeah. What kind of calls did you get? By the way, aren't there a lot of rattlesnakes there in Texas?
Well, there is, but Lower Valley now has a lot of farming land, but we didn't really come across a lot of, let's say snakes, but a few mountain lions and a lot of the rabbits. But yeah, quite a few anyway.
Yeah. So did you see mountain lions in the wild?
Oh, yes, sir, sure did.
Yeah, I've been in California 65 years. I've never seen a mountain lion, but I really want to see one. Excuse me, I dropped my whole microphone there. Yeah, I haven't got to see a mountain lion in the wild, but I'm anxious to see one. Now, what were the routine calls? Were they traffic or theft or what kinds of things?
We did a lot of them on gangs and drugs and just a whole lot of different things and family violence and assaults here and there and all things added up.
Yeah, and of course you had a county jail.
Right. We had the county jail, which is about from where I worked in Fayetteville was about 30 miles east of El Paso.
Mm-hmm. So to take people to the jail, you had to drive into El Paso?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
And just long drive going back and forth.
Yeah, a lot of time going back and forth, I bet. You got any wild stories before? Any spectacular things happen that you could share with us?
Well, yes. I guess one of the first things that I came across not that I wanted to. It was an accident in Favors where, unfortunately, I had to use my gun to bring down this person who was wanted.
Yeah.
And yeah, but it happened. Yeah, I did bring him down. I didn't kill him, but yeah,
Yeah.
he wound up in jail.
He wound up in jail. Well, sometimes when the deputy has the gun, the other guy ends up in the morgue. So it sounds like you handled it pretty well.
Well, I think I did. So I'm saying, thank God that I'm here. So yeah, I guess I did handle it pretty well.
I know I live in a city, and when one officer pulls someone over and there's a gun issue, man, 40 cops show up. But you don't have that in El Paso, I'd imagine.
No, at the time that happened, it was just me, all by myself. The rest of the officers were in Socorro, which is about 15 miles from Favens, and they were doing a drug deal at the time.
Yeah.
So they had quite a few officers up there, but out in Favens, it was just me for that particular day.
Mm-hmm. Did you have, of course, you did traffic stops, is that right?
Okay, I'm sorry, what was the question again?
Did you do traffic stops as well?
No, basically at the time I was doing crime prevention. I was doing crime prevention with the schools, on drugs and kids on safety and different things that had to do with safety. That was my job back then. And except for this particular day, no, it was not my day.
Give me an idea. El Paso, is that close to the border with Mexico?
Favens, maybe it would touch the border, which is basically maybe 100 yards separating El Paso from Favens.
Wow. And were there a lot of drugs coming over the border in that area?
No, not really. I guess the cartels weren't hitting that hard yet, but even people crossing over illegals, no, not really. It was just it was a nice, quiet town back then.
Yeah. Now I want to put the book cover up again because I love this kind of book, kind of just a day in the life of a guy in the Southwest United States, or day in the life of Texas. And people don't understand that you're out there on your own, way out in the middle of nowhere. Now, did you win? You won the Spirit of El Paso Award, is that right?
Yes, I sure did. That's November 1986. It's just by a weird thing that happened, and I did get the award from Channel 4, Alden Nolas, a broadcaster at the time, and so yeah, I did get a Spirit of El Paso Award, and then I guess after all these years, now it's coming up, and glad we got into it. But did you want to hear a little bit about the story?
Yes, please. I would love that.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Well, San Rosario, small town. I think that at the time maybe 3,000 to 5,000 people, but a lot of people from Mexico were moving into Mexico to San Rosario, and the people there basically didn't like these people. So they before you knew it, they started fighting the schools. They were making a mess. They were destroying houses. They were breaking into cars and graffiti all over the place, and they just couldn't get along. Now, Baja Virgen, the guys from basically, some from here, some from Juarez, they got together and started protecting themselves against the stoners, which were also from San Rosario. And since they couldn't get along, they couldn't fight. The school were, it was happening every day. The people there in Sonelli were tired of all these things that were happening. And even the sheriff's department going out there, they really couldn't handle the situation, because every time they arrested somebody, they asked the people, hey, do you want to prosecute? And people said, no, we don't want to prosecute, whatever. Then you got to keep on having problems. Well, these problems just got worse. They got so worse that before I knew it, one of my friends, Chevo Quiroga, who worked for Aliviane, which has to do with drug programs, he told me that, Joe, you know what, if you're going out to Favors, be careful, because the people out there are getting dangerous, so see what you can do. I said, yeah, I'll look into it. So I did. A few days later, I wound up at San Rosario High School, and they had a meeting there. So when I walked in, being a short sheriff, whatever, they looked at me like, what are you going to do? I said, well, I'm here to find out what's going on. And they said, yeah, you know what, we got a problem with the gangs. We want you to do something about it. So I said, okay, you know what, I'll tell you what. Then it's very simple. If these guys want to hurt themselves, let them have a football game. Let them have a football game with no padding, nothing like that, whatever. And they can work out their frustration. So just tell them that there's going to be a football game, but don't tell them it was me that was going to handle it. And before I knew it, the word got out that the stoners were going to fight the battery region there at the school. Now, the school was barren. It was just nothing but clay out there. That dirt was pretty hard. So when they got out there to start the game, boy, this was not a game.
Mm.
This was basically, well, they didn't kill each other, but they were out there to hurt each other.
Yeah.
They, down after down, all it was a mud pile on the rabbit. And I mean, it was throughout 2 hours, nothing but mud pile on the rabbit and nothing but fights and this. But even my officers who were off duty, they helped me control the game.
Yeah.
So they did a darn good job. And at the end, I have to admit, you know, they nobody won the game. Nobody won the game. So that was the best in the game.
Yeah.
So now they got together and said, you know what? I guess we're equal to each other. So let's all get along. And they did. That particular day, those guys got together. They went out there and ate some hamburgers, some hot dogs, some sodas, whatever. And they talked to each other for a change.
Wow.
And they made friends. And after a while, we found out that all the crime in San Rosario settled down by about 75%. Mm-hmm. So that was a big improvement. Yeah. And which, all the people there, were glad that a lot of the problems were over. And that's one thing, a gang, the football game, the reason I wanted them to play a football game, because I remember when I played football in the 8th grade at Tech High School here in El Paso, after you use your pads, whatever, you were sore for about a week or two. Yeah. And that's what I wanted to feel. They want to hear some pain, let them feel the pain in the body. And they, again, nobody won the football game, and they made friends.
Yep.
And so much for that.
Yeah. You just brought people together, let kids do what kids do, play football, things like that. That's a great story, and it worked. Worked, Joe. Is that what you won the award for?
Yes, sir. Yeah, about a week later, Al Hinojosa from Channel 4 did call me and say, hey, Joe, we'd like to present you to Spirit of El Paso Award. Not many people get it. I think in El Paso area, I think only 2 other people got the award. One was a farmer who put up, for Christmas, they put up a party for the kids. Mm-hmm. So he got an award, and then I got the other award for a particular game. And I guess I never bragged about it, or whatever. But after all these years, after almost 40 years, they finally put it together, and I appreciate it. People helped me.
That's nice. That's a great story, Joe. I hope a lot of people are listening to this right now and can pick up some pointers on how to bring people together. Joe, we've gone way past time. You're so fascinating. I could talk to you all day long. You have any other little story or anything you want to share with us before we're totally out of time?
Sure. Well, there's quite a few stories. One time, for example, in Clint, not Clint, we got County Road up by, it's been quite a while because I'm forgetting a lot of the names. But I forget the name of the district. But anyway, we had a fight where one guy had kidnapped his daughter from his wife, and that was about 5 o'clock in the morning. And this guy was ruthless. This guy did not belong to any gangs, but he was just a mean person. So we finally got up there to about 5 o'clock in the morning to go arrest this person. And as soon as we got there, I knew that the truck was driving out of there. I said, yep, that's the guy that we need to go after. So we went after this guy, put up our lights, whatever, siren, and this guy would not stop. All of a sudden, this guy starts running us up the road. So then a chase began. So we chased this guy out down County Road to New Mexico, down north, south to Mexico.
Wow.
And finally, as we're almost getting together, this guy started running our patrol car out of the road. Mm-hmm. So the other patrol car that was catching close by, he went after them and he lost them. How he lost them, I don't know. But then again, I'm the leader of the chase. So we see this guy turn right, so we went after him, and he was stuck up in the dirt. So my buddy and I got out and we stopped the vehicle, and we tried to get the person out of the car, but he would not cooperate. All of a sudden, he started running the vehicle, and he's about to run both of us over. So we got moved out of the way, and I told my buddy, you know what? Let's shoot the tires out on this car, because we could not shoot at the car. We shut the tires out, and he still kept going for about another maybe 2-3 blocks, and finally got stuck out in the dirt. So when we got to him, at the time, New Mexico Border Patrolmen were there, and so with us, and we got him, and we arrested him, and we handcuffed him, and then we put him in our patrol car, and then he starts breaking out all the windows of my patrol car. So, but yeah, we caught the guy, and the little girl was she got more or less it's the she got controlled by the New Mexico Border Patrol officers, and they took care of her, and that was it. We did arrest the guy, and that particular day it was 5 o'clock in the morning. We didn't get home till 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
Oh boy.
That's one incident. Another incident was we're out there in Fairbanks, where I'm going Code Red, with the red lights and all, near Christmas. So I'm going east, going north. I apologize. We're going west on San Rosario, and another guy who was practically drunk just decided to drive up in front of me and turn right to a bar, and so I had to call it in. So once I got out and found out that the guy was lost, I said, wait a minute, I saw him, he was walking inside the bar. So I ran to the bar, got him out, and yeah, sure enough, we arrested him for drunk. At the time I was hurt, but we did arrest him. And then all of a sudden his buddies, which were not involved at all, they started coming out and telling, oh, Joe, it was you. You're the one that did all the damages, this and that, whatever. So no, we didn't care. We arrested the guy and took him to jail. That's one incident. Nice. And then, well, that and a few other instances, it's all in the book.
Yeah, I was going to say, these are all in the book. And here's the book, The Spirit of El Paso. And I know we had Michelle Murphy on. If you scroll down in our YouTube, you'll see her down there. She's a great writer. She's a great storyteller. I'm glad you and her bumped into each other and this book got written. I love to read this kind of book, and I will read it. Joe, we're way past time, but I want to give you a minute. You want to tell another story or any other comments you want to make about anything?
Right now, it caught me off guard a little bit, but another story, I've got a few to tell you, but let's see.
Put you on the spot, Joe.
Yeah, she put me on the spot. Even though I went through all these things, but it's kind of hard to remember, especially, it caught me off guard. But hold on a second, please. Okay. Well, anyway, I thank Michelle and Mary for all the work that she's done for us, especially during this book. And I hope everybody who reads it, hopefully I'll appreciate the book. And again, it's something that came out of, I guess, my heart and Michelle's heart to put this thing together. And
let me ask you this, Joe, before we go. How many sheriffs did you serve under?
Oh, myself? Basically, there was about 4 different sheriffs that I worked under. The first one, honestly, I can't remember his name. The next one was Mike Davis, and then Montes, and then Sullivan, and then the other one I never saw. But yeah, I did work under 4 different sheriffs at the time. That's from 1977 to 1984.
Did your job ever get a little bit political, like you're arresting the wrong person or something like that?
Oh, yes, it did get political. Basically, back in the early 90s, sometimes things were working out my way, and then I had quite a few accidents that kind of set me back a little bit. And with my injuries, like I said, they did set me back, and I wasn't at work that often. And every time I wasn't at work, because I was getting, like I said, surgeries and stuff like that. But it got political at the end, but I think I'd resign, and, I'm on with my life,
Very good. Joe, I recommend everybody go find this book, Spirit of El Paso. Fascinating stories. Regular old guy who's in the almost like the Old West there in Texas and around El Paso. Joe, I really love talking to you. I hope you could come back on the show and talk to us a little bit more sometime.
Yes, sure. I would love to. Thanks a lot for inviting us.
Yeah, and for our viewers, here's the book cover, and what a great Christmas gift this would be for people to get and give away for Christmas. And I just want to...
Yeah, I think it would be a great Christmas present, especially if you want a lot of action.